Alright guys, welcome back. I'm going to show you how to do today is the earring molds and how to apply white or clear water slide to them. You can use either one. But what I need to do first is I need to dump some of this epoxy or something that I had left over. Give me just a second. Let's just dump it in this mermaid topper. Try not to waste any epoxy. So if I can make something, mold something with it, extras, that's what I do. Make a magnet or earring or pop socket. Well, there's the gold in there. Leave that in there. And then I'll use a couple foam grips for what I have left on the block real quick. I'm going to show you guys those two. This is just a little extra epoxy I had left over from the last thing I did. Make sure you wear your gloves when you work with epoxy. Some people cannot tolerate it very well. We don't want nothing bad to happen. Really pretty blackish purple color when you turn it. Okay, that's good enough on that. Let's see. I want to throw something in it though. Throw a couple of these flakes in it. They're not going on very well. They kind of go wherever they want. Kind of float through the air. Yeah. I'll give it a little more detail. And then I'll come back and probably do a top onto it. Okay. Let's get all that out of there. We don't want that on there. Let's go ahead and pour these before my epoxy gets too hard, too hot. Just a pretty white mix of glitter is what I typically use for my earrings. I have this one from Counterculture that's called Falling Snow. I don't know if you can see it, but it is so pretty. It just kind of looks like falling snow in the air. So mix it up. Make sure you got it pretty thick. You don't want to see your popsicle stick through it. That's how you know you got enough glitter. And then just pour. These are the large earring molds. I have some small. But when you make them white, your earrings white, you can pretty much put whatever you want on them. If you want to put anything on them at all. I want to do with my white. Here we go. Need to get another one. Have some more. Pretty simple molding part of it. It's pretty simple. And I'll tell you how bad I am. You see that I don't have very much left, but I have enough to where I can't waste it. So I'm gonna throw this white on a pop socket, and then since it's white, I'll be able to put whatever I want on it too, water slide wise. Epoxy's expensive. We don't waste it. It goes into something, a magnet, a pop socket, an earring, a straw topper, a keychain, something, always. And that's how I do my pop sockets. Y'all see I mix the glitter in with the epoxy, and then I just, most of the time, after this part of it, your socket's done. You know, as long as you got enough to where it's smooth. You can see this is smooth. It looks smooth on top the way it settles. You shouldn't have a problem with it being done after that. I used to, when I first started doing this, all this stuff, would get my pop socket and I would pour epoxy on it lightly and glitter it, and then wait for that to dry, and then put epoxy over the glitter, and then wait for that to dry, and then sand it if it needed to, if I used chunky glitter, and then, so I've learned a way to do it to where I don't have to do all that. Usually it's one step and it's done. Okay, next what I'll do is, because bubbles like to form up here around the where you put your hardware, so what I usually do is just take a toothpick or some small something and pop the bubbles. And you know, you have to help it spread around there sometimes. Just get it on there, and if you work your stick in and out right there, usually a bubble will come to the top if there's going to be one, and pop. Start moving these out of my way though. Just move them. I move mine quickly. It doesn't affect them. It will spill out if you don't move them quickly. You don't want no bubbles up there. That's, you know, part that your hardware goes on, and you want it to be strong. I mean, you can also run it around the edge, because, you know, bubbles, they just form wherever. Alright, then I'm going to hit them real quick with the torch. Same thing with the sockets that I did. Hit them with the torch. Okay, I don't know why I heated those. Those are done. Alright. Okay, now we got earrings that I'm gonna do, and we got light sockets that we're gonna do. Because what we're also gonna do is we're gonna differentiate the difference between white water slide and clear water slide, because I get a lot of questions, and I don't think that some people don't really understand exactly, if they're new with working with water slide, what the difference is. These are all clear, okay? They're on a white background. The image comes off the paper with a clear background. So you can put them on top of white and light colors. You can pretty much do anything you want with them. can cover the whole earring if that's what you like. You can just do images. These are also clear. These are clear too. I just put the whole thing over. You'll see it's white glitter on the back. But I sell these sheets too already. I don't know what was on there. Already somewhat sized. You may have to trim them a bit. I do. I have to trim mine, but that's fine. But these are clear, okay? I'm going to show you when we take them off. Because I got some colored pairs that we're going to do the white on so you can see. And then I got some clear that we're going to do the clear on. So let's go ahead and let's do the white first. These are white slides. You can tell because there's registration marks on the paper. And there's usually one right here too, but the corner's gone. So if you buy slides from me and you get them and you don't remember what you got, white or clear, if there's registration marks on them, they're white. That means they have to be cut by my machine. Only white can be done with some images, quotes, stuff like that. Small detail cannot be done on white. In order to do it on white, you have to have an image that you can only trace the outside on, because my machine cuts around it, because this is on a white backing. Let me show you. Put those in there. Here's the white. We're going to go with this, put them on this pair. But basically just get you a paper towel, some water, cut around the image. You don't have to cut the image out directly, as you see. Get a drink quick. Once they soak for a while, they'll start to come off of the paper. Not ready yet. Let them soak a little longer. We're going to do Hocus Pocus on these. This is one of my favorite glitters. A lot of people sell it. It's like the shifting purple blue. I don't remember which one I got this one from. Excuse me. Alright. So, this is the difference between the white. See the paper that comes off of the white it's white. Okay? The image is printed on white paper. But see, I cut them out, so the outside part should peel off and only leave your image part, which when it's ready, it'll slide around. I'm just trying to hurry for you guys. But maybe I should let it sit. See this, maybe. Let's see, just the outside comes right off because I pre-cut the white. And then, see how my image is sliding? It should move pretty freely. But just take your finger, a rag or whatever, and wet your surface that you're going to be using it on. And then just slide it right off. What I was going to show you. See the back? How the back is white? That's a white slide. That means you can put it on dark colors. See? Slide it right on there. Take your paper towel. Just kind of dab it at first to get, some of the water out. You can still move it around. Get it off the end. And then I always take one end of it and kind of hold it and lightly just brush the water and the bubbles out. Okay? And I will apply a layer of epoxy over these to, secure the image in place, and it'll give it a new shine. If you want to add glitter to it, you can. Okay, see, now that one's ready. We'll wet it. I'm just going to slide it right off. onto my earring. Pat it. Slide it back on. And look at it, make sure it's straight. Okay. And then hold it and wipe it. Get the water out from underneath it. Alrighty. And there you go. And like I said, once these dry, I will put epoxy over the top of them, just a layer. Usually I don't have the hardware on them until I'm completely finished with them, so I'll have to take these off so they'll lay flat. But then I'll just, you know, put a thin layer of epoxy on it and let it cure. If you have UV, you can do that because then, you know, be completely done. And there you have some Halloween earrings. Or whatever, George Strait, whoever you want on them. Okay. Now we have these and these, and I'm going to do some clear. Let's do some it. This is on clear. I do sell a lot of it. Pennywise. But basically just cut around your image. I cut closer around the clear ones actually, because they're not pre-cut. Drop them in your water. Drop them in your water. Poke them down. Sometimes poke them down. They like to float. We all float. Just kidding. I'm corny. That's why I don't do lives, you guys, because it's really hard to do it and read the comments, and I'm just a hot mess all the time. I spill things. I'm messy. I usually work pretty fast because I just have a lot of things to get done. Oh, look what I'm doing. You don't even see me over here. I'm throwing paper into a wet mold that I filled. That's me. That's what I do. Okay. So, those are for socket. Oh. Well, those are kind of small for my earrings. See, I have these for the clear too. For earrings, but they're on white. And see, what I like about the clear is once I put it on something that's glittery, it's glittery through it. I'll show you. So I'm not going to use that one because it's white. So we'll do the sockets. Anyways, they don't take as long. I usually just kind of wet it and then wet the whole thing. And then just get all the water out from underneath it, however is easiest for you. But these sockets are cool. I mix glow pigment powders in with them. Just gives them an extra Halloween vibe. At least I think these are the ones that I put glow in. Yeah, I did. You see it glow. Sorry, I'm sitting right in front of a window. Anyhow, that's clear. And I didn't show you, but I'm going to show you. But you see how you see the glitter through the image? And also the image. Do you see that? Do you see how it's clear? Not white like the other. So you have to use a light background for a clear, and a dark background needs the white. Okay? That's the difference. And if you're still confused, just ask me. I'll tell you. Oh. Just do that pop socket halfway across the room. I'll tell you what you need if you don't know. Another neat thing is sometimes you use more of a glittery white than a true white. I don't know if that makes sense to some of you, but your image will be kind of dull. So what I've learned to do is I let the first one dry, and then sometimes I'll go over it with another image, and it makes it more bold. You can see it better. You see that? I mean, it's good with one, but when I put two on it, it's even more distinguishable. I don't even know if that's a word. The detail shows up better. So I don't know if I'm going to do one or two on these. I do like them to show up fairly good, so I probably will do two. Just because I like a dark image. I like for things to show up and be crisp. And if you haven't noticed, my slides are pretty easy to work with. I'm not real delicate. I'm not going to tell you not to be, because you should be. But they're not as, I mean, they're easier to work with than some that I have worked with, because they crack and they break. And I'm not saying that mine won't, and because they have. But for the most part, they're pretty easy to work with. If I can do it, you can do it. Because I am not a delicate person. Kind of like a bull in a china cabinet. I've heard that all my life. So when you do two images, you know, just make sure they line up perfect. You don't want double lines. Double vision. Okay, so there's two glow-in-the-dark sockets that we made from leftover epoxy from spinning some cups. I'll probably sell those for $7 or $8 a piece because they have glow pigment in them. Sometimes I just sell my stuff for like $5, but it just depends on how long I've held on to them and how many I need to sell. Okay, on the earrings, these. Let's do... they're clear. I should have thought this through better and gotten some bigger, clear images. Actually, let's just do some pumpkins. Or should we do cats? Let's do pumpkins. They're kind of big. Or then just cut around. Soak it in your water. And then, like I said, same thing. I'll probably put a layer of epoxy over these to protect the image. Just like I do the earrings. Layer of epoxy over them. You can use UV. Oh, look what I just did. When I tell you, I just slung black pigment powder all across my table. Because I didn't close the bag. Tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and close it now. So look what I did. Yeah, that's how I roll. Never fails. Clean this up real quick. Some of it got it on my marker. Okay. Anyways, slide it off. This is clear. See how it's clear? Clear. Can't see it unless it's on a white surface. And the pumpkins. I probably won't leave these on here, guys, because they're just too small for me. I'd rather fill up the whole earring. But you get the concept. Alright? Alright. There is your difference in white and clear water slide and how to do the earrings. If you have any questions, guys, just shoot me a PM. Thanks for watching.